turning to pieces. I'll be back next weekend. I wanna be
Power 105.1.
Power 105.1 is the Breakfast Club. Good morning. We got a special chef in the building this morning.
Who didn't bring any breakfast.
No food. What
kind
of chef is that?
Some eggs and pancakes or something.
Came empty-handed.
Chef Roble.
Yes, we were in the Vibe magazine Juice issue together. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I know, I wouldn't have to do anything. I just know you were in the Vibe magazine.
That was quite an accomplishment for me. I was proud,
me too.
Man.
I felt the same way, sir.
They said we had the juice, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Really, more than cooking, I like to eat. I always like to eat. So I was like,
weigh 102 pounds.
Well, I'm also Somali, so I have good genes,
Okay.
Quick metabolism. So I just like to eat, and I figured if I wanted to eat the way I wanted to eat all the time, I'll have to figure out how to cook. So that's how that happened.
So you used to be in the kitchen like when you was younger, making this experiment with all kind of stuff, Snickers and honey buns and
exactly.
Yeah.
Honey buns.
Yes.
You didn't have easy bake ovens and things like that.
Nah, I never had one of those because they
Okay.
were like, well, now they make them like unisex, but back then it's pink and it just looked like it was for a little girl, so I wouldn't play with it.
Okay.
Well, now listen, I have to tell you something that happened before you came here. Our producer in the corner right there, he actually went to culinary school.
Chef Joe Queen.
And
Chef Joe Queen. I'm sure you heard of him. Chef Joe Queen.
Yeah.
We've never had anything that we've never heard of him cooking anything, but he claims to know everything about food, and he was hating on you heavily, Chef Roble.
Like, I don't respect that guy.
Don't let them separate the color.
He was like,
did you, what school did you go to?
FCI.
FCI, that's a good school. I've done a lot of work there. It's a very good school. Very good school.
Oh, they've hired you to cook there.
right.
I've
You
done
didn't
some
go there to
stuff
have to
yeah.
learn
Teach the
anything.
underlings.
Yeah, I was already done by that point. I'm gonna make your life very easy today.
See, this is the kind of guest I need all the time, not these lazy guests that just comes here and expect me to do everything.
It's Roble to the rescue on Well Done. We're gonna cook. We're gonna have fun. You're
Yes!
gonna learn something.
Yes! Food porn! Real food porn!
I would make so much money, and then I'm like, oh, I'm rich, and like shopping spree. And I go buy things, and then I forget that I'm in a really unpredictable industry. So then there are like months when nothing is happening, and I'm like, shit, what am I gonna do now, So always, like half or at least 2/3 of what you make, put it away. Like, cause you never know, this industry just, it moves very fast, and it's like always what's new, what's hot, So, I mean, today you're hot, tomorrow you're like nothing, maybe, I think just safe and always have a plan B. Like, I'm glad I went to college. Like, you can't always depend on how you look like, It's better to, say screw this one day and do something else, Like, it's always good to have, like, variety in, what you do. So I think always have a backup and save the money, because the money comes and stops. And then months later it comes and then it stops.
New York Fashion Week. Looking forward at the looks we'll be sporting this spring, but top models say it's falling back on old habits when it comes to casting supermodels. And fashion icons Naomi Campbell and Iman are demanding more diversity on the runway.
Campbell, along with beauty icon Iman and former model turned advocate Beth Ann Hartigan, are part of the Diversity Coalition. And they're taking their fight public for the first time in an open letter to the governing bodies of Fashion Week, based on what they say they saw at last season's fall show. And they're naming names: Calvin Klein, Donna Karan, Armani, and many others for using just one or no models of color in those fall shows, which featured dozens of models, calling it a racist act.
This is not the business of shaming, and as we go back again to clarify it, nobody is calling any of these designers racist. The act itself is racism.
Iman, the supermodel turned makeup mogul, also known as Mrs. David Bowie, may be a mega power player, but she says she's outraged that things haven't changed since the 70s.
There were more black models working then than it is happening in 2013. There is a time when silence is not acceptable at all, and if the conversation cannot be had publicly in our industry, then inherently there is something wrong with the industry.
Hard work gets you everywhere you want, and always keep dreaming.
oo asagu dadaal badan ka muujiyay soo saarista dhinaca filimada.
One of the main reasons why I decided to become a director is we're not very much represented as Somali people on the mainstream platform. You don't see mainstream blockbuster films directed or acted.
1st of January?
1st of January?
Yeah. 1990.
1990. Yeah.
1990. It's quite funny actually. Some Somali guy over there, same age. Really weird, right?
Human beings in a mob. What's a mob to a king? What's a king to a god? What's a god to a non-believer? Don't believe in anything. Make it out alive. Alright, alright. No church in the wild.
We both worked hard to achieve our goals, and we both still feel very hungry. You know?
Absolutely.
Very hungry and
Absolutely. Even at my age.
That's so great about it, man.
I told him early on. I went for an audition, and this guy said to me, "Oh, by the way," he said, "we had a word with this Somali director," and my ears just said, "What? Somali what?" The Somali director. I said, "Is there a Somali director?" Yeah, she said, "His name is Moe Ali, and he's done this film called Shank, and he's fantastic."
You don't hear Somalis going into film, you know? You don't hear Somalis directing. You don't hear Somali actors apart from Abdi Yusuf. Now I know about him and I'm a massive fan. But at that age, I didn't have anybody to look up to, you know? So I was very afraid that people might think I'm going to fail. And, you know, I realize now that it's not that, it's the work that you put in and the passion, you know? And I stumbled, but I could be my own role model, you know, in a sense. So I could try and look up to not Somali people, but just other people that succeed. But when I was young, I was just too afraid, thinking, they're going to think, who's this Somali kid, you know? That was this thing in the back of my head, you know? I don't know anybody that's done it, you know? Normally, Somalis are doctors or pilots. I'm the director. What am I doing?
Alors, nous allons d'abord découvrir qui vous avez placé à la 3e place de ce podium, la 3e marche. Et Jean-Michel, il s'agit de...
Alors, vous me direz que toutes les places, quand il s'agit d'une place dans le top 3, sont intéressantes, mais il faut élire un 3e. Notre vainqueur, cette année et en direct sur RTL TV, s'appelle Junbox. Merci les garçons, merci beaucoup.
On a eu notre gagnant de Belgium's Got Talent 2013, et c'est Junbox.
Pour cet homme, tout ne fait que commencer. Et pour nous, l'aventure Belgium's Got Talent saison 2 se termine ici, ce soir. Merci de l'avoir suivi, d'avoir vibré avec nous jusqu'à cette finale.
Rolling. Rolling. Oh my God! You and me delivering content. Wet myself.